Hey YouTube, back to work today. Today was Saturday, January, February, March. Had to think there for a minute. March the 1st. Came back to work today. So they sent a load that loaded in the evening here at Russellville, Arkansas. Oops, got to be careful I don't bump the microphone. Because I'm using this lapel microphone right here. So in any case, they sent a load that loaded this evening in Russellville, Arkansas. So I left home, it was, I don't know, a little bit after 6 o'clock whenever I left home. And then I went down to West Fork and picked up my trailer, and I went ahead and, since it was getting later, I went ahead and got something to eat while I was there, and then came on down here to Russellville. Of course, I had to get the trailer. They have a truck wash here at Russellville. Got the trailer washed out, and then I came to the shipper, and they don't have the load loaded, and they don't, even though they have drop trailers here, they hadn't started it. And so, needless to say, I backed the trailer into a door, and now I'm waiting. And so it may be a long wait. I don't know if it drags out too long and I start getting sleepy, then I'll just go to bed, go to sleep. But right now I'm pretty much wide awake. So I was all ready to go this morning. I set my alarm for 8 a.m. and actually I woke up at a little bit after 7, and so I went ahead, after I laid there for a while longer, I went ahead and got up and took a shower and so on and so forth, and kind of got around. And I'd already carried most of the stuff out to the truck over the past few days, as far as laundry and what have you. As I did it, it's just easier to carry it, go ahead and take it out there. If I have to make a trip to the truck, it's just as easy to go ahead and take it out there and kind of be done with it. And so I didn't, but in any case, I went out to the truck, and they had sent that load offer, and so I realized, well, I don't have to leave right away. So I was bad. I ended up making, the last few days I've been thinking, it'd be neat to have a new phone, and I've been thinking about the Note 3, and then of course a couple of days ago I watched, there's a Samsung presentation that they made in Barcelona, Spain a few days ago at that Mobile, I don't know, is it Mobile World Conference? They announced the Galaxy S5, and of course it doesn't go on sale until mid-April. So in the meantime, I thought, well, I can wait until mid-April or not. So I don't know. There was one of the things that kind of changed my mind, and I ended up making a trip to Best Buy. Talk about that in a minute. One of the things that kind of changed my mind was while I was home, I put up a bunch of videos, and most of the videos I did with my phone. The last one, the one with the neat scanner that I bought a couple of months ago, or a month or however long ago it was, that one I recorded with the iPad. And of course the iPad's got a nice 5 megapixel camera on the back, and it does a really nice job of recording HD video. And it's easy, using the iMovie to edit the thing together. And so I was able to do that and render the file out. But as far as, this morning when I went to, go to the camera roll on the iPad, and find the thing, and it ended up being, I don't know, it's like 20 minutes long, because I talked a little bit about that neat scanner after I demonstrated it, and it said, oh, and they got a YouTube icon there, and it said, oh, your thing's too long, you're gonna have to cut part of it off, it's too long to send to YouTube. Well, what's that about? I can send this, I'm not limited to 10 minutes on YouTube. I can send much longer files than that. And so, of course, I was able to go to the YouTube uploader, there, which is an iOS app that I have on that iPad Air, and it went ahead and installed, it went ahead and uploaded the file. But I was, it's just kind of annoying that Apple would do that. If something's going to work, it should work across the board with basically multiple ways of doing the same thing. It should work across the board. And so, but I've been thinking about that. What Apple does, it's as if Apple sort of herds you. They have all these nice, bright, shiny things, and they get you to come into their garden, or or their corral, as it were. They get you to come in, and here's your operating system, and it works pretty well, and it doesn't get viruses and spyware, which is great. But then when you get in there, when you've bought the thing and you're inside the gate, they close the door behind you and they lock it. And if that isn't bad enough, once you're in there, then they say, oh, well, here's an upgrade. Here's this new part of the operating system. Here's something new we're going to give you. And they get you over, to grab that, and while you aren't looking, they lock you inside of the gate that's already been locked, another gate. So in other words, they get you to go for this new thing, and they take something else away, and they're constantly doing that. They've had a long history of, taking things away and kind of locking you into the system, and then, constantly giving you new things, but taking things away. And all of their changes aren't always for the better. Some of it's just change for change's sake. Excuse me. So that's kind of the thing that caused me, kind of got me over the hump. And I decided, well, I'm going to go look at phones, and it was specifically the Note 3. I'm pretty impressed with the specs. It's got a 2.3 gigahertz quad-core processor. The Galaxy 5 will have a 2.5 gigahertz quad-core processor, so it's just somewhat faster, but not terribly fast. Not dramatically faster than the 2.3 that the quad-core processor that the S3 or that the Note 3 has. So I went to town, I went to Best Buy, and I went to the Samsung area, and they've got phones out there that you can play with. And so I played with the S3, and I did a little test as far as plugging this microphone into it, and very satisfied with the sound quality in particular. Another thing about the I keep saying S3 because that's what I had, but giving that to my youngest brother. The Note 3 is that the Note 3 is capable. Now, just think about this. It's easy to kind of scoff this off or slough it off. The Note 3 will record, right out of the box, it will record 4K video. And this is a cell phone that will record 4K video. Now, I don't have anything to play 4K video back on. I don't have the the most resolution that I have would be 1080p on anything. But there are people that have you can take 4K video, obviously, and upload it to YouTube if you want to. It's people have done that, but just think about that. There are plenty of computers, desktop computers, that are not even capable of handling 4K, and yet this phone can record it and play it back. So that tells you something about the incredible hardware. And so I was going to go ahead then, after I did my test and with the audio, and it passed with flying colors. I decided, yes, I was going to go ahead and get a Note 3. And so, but the problem was at Best Buy, their cellular area was already swamped. It was, at that point, it was, I don't know, it was probably upwards of 11 o'clock, maybe a little after. and it was already swamped. And so there's a Sprint store that's, I don't know, about 2 or 3 miles away there in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So from the Best Buy store. So I went to the Sprint store, and I was able to pretty much get right in, get waited on right away. And I told the gal what I wanted, and so she sold me a Galaxy Note 3. It comes in a kind of a nifty box. So in any case, obviously I'm recording this on the phone, on the Note 3. So can't show you it unless I don't know, maybe I have a mirror somewhere. So anyway, it most of all of the Galaxy phones, pretty much they're remarkably similar looking. The only difference being that the screen size. So they're remarkably similar in the way they're constructed. There's definitely a family resemblance. So in any case, bought it at the Sprint store, and that was the quickest I've ever been in and out of a phone store buying a phone. Because every other time I've bought a phone or changed phones, it's been kind of a lengthy process, and in this case it was very quick. And I think one of the things that really sped it along was the fact that I wasn't aware of it, but Samsung, if you go to in the Android App Store, Samsung has got I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's a transfer. It's a file transfer between just Galaxy devices. Regardless of which Galaxy device it is, it's a file transfer program. And so you install this file transfer program on each phone, and you start it on one phone, and then you start it on the other, and then they actually do a handshake, which is the remarkable thing. It's through sound, but it's sound that you can't hear, so it's obviously above the range of human hearing. It makes some sort of a handshake, and then they're connected, and then you just tap the button on the phone that you want to send from. You hit that one first, and then it pops up on the other one and asks you, do you want to receive data from such and such phone? And you tell it yes. And in the meantime, I just told it select all as far as contacts and pictures and app, there like an app list and so on and so forth, just bunch of different things, all of it. And it went ahead, and it actually didn't take very long. It was a pretty quick process. It's remarkably quick, and it's the thing that's kind of mind-boggling is that it's using sound to do it. It's sort of like ultrasonic. So I wasn't even aware that existed, but that's pretty remarkable. But in any case, so I was able to transfer everything over, and then I still ended up having to download some apps, because it didn't transfer the apps themselves. It was like an app list. So I went ahead and I went through and I found the apps that I wanted, and of course I had to kind of put them where I wanted, so I'd have the shortcuts on the home screens, and then I had to put in some usernames and passwords. But other than that, everything's here now, and it's my phone basically. And so this afternoon, then I went back over to Best Buy and I found this case, and I don't know what brand it was, but it's sort of a black case, and it essentially covers the back and the sides, and that's all it covers, and that's all I wanted. And it was a choice between that one, and there was one just like it, except it was sort of a clear translucent plastic. And I decided this one is black, and it's sort of textured, kind of like it would be textured like leather. And so that's what I got, because it was textured, and I felt like it was probably easier to hang on to than the slick plastic of the translucent one. So, and this one probably looked better anyway, and so that's what I got that at Best Buy, and then I stopped and got something to eat. Then I went home and I spent a couple of hours, probably an hour and a half maybe, kind of finishing downloading things and putting the icons where I wanted them and so on and so forth. And And of course, I moved my SD card over. I've got a 32 gigabyte SD card. I moved that over from the old phone to the new phone, and so I didn't even bother bringing the old phone with me. You know, I could have brought it with me, but really didn't bother. There's no need because I've got everything over. It's everything's on this phone now, and it's kind of pretty much already customized the way I want it. So pretty happy with that. In any case, this phone is, it's really an order of magnitude at least better hardware than the S3. It's really remarkable. It's easy to look at the specs on these phones and say, oh, well, it's just, it's a little better than this or it's a little better than that. If you really look at it's really a remarkable piece of hardware. So these of course, the knowledge is getting better. The technology continues to accelerate. It always gets faster and cheaper at a very predictable rate, and there's no end in sight to that. And so it's, this is really, like I say, it's really a remarkable piece of hardware. And it's actually it's got a very powerful processor. And of course it's able to do some really remarkable things. So I got a new phone, and it only, I don't know, when it's all said and done, it's probably going to cost me about around $236. If I would have switched, I went ahead and stayed with Sprint. If I would have switched to Verizon, it would have probably cost me about $100 more. It would have cost probably at least $100 more. So I decided I'd just go ahead and stay with Sprint, and of course I still have the Verizon data that I'm using most of the time. And Sprint's data network is getting better. I am seeing more Sprint 4G around, and so that is getting better. So anyway, got a new phone, and so now I'm just here at Russellville, Arkansas, sort of waiting for the paint to dry. And then the load that I have, it is 6 a.m. Appointment Monday morning in which I think is the 3rd, in Buda, Texas, which is just south of Austin. And then it's got a second drop on Tuesday morning at San Antonio, which isn't too far away from, maybe it might be 50 miles, I don't know, from on south of Buda, something like that. 50, 60 miles maybe, I don't know, something like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and it should be a little bit warmer weather. Now they are maybe expecting some ice here in Arkansas, and certainly it's supposed to get colder. Right now it's the last time I looked it was about 50 degrees here, but the colder air is on its way, and it is supposed to maybe ice. So it's possible by the time I get out of here that things could be treacherous. I don't know. But right now it's 50 degrees and no precipitation whatsoever. And I looked at the radar earlier, and any activity was still a ways away. So we'll see what happens. But so anyway, from Russellville, Arkansas, I'll catch you later.